afternoon, welcome to Bootham Crescent, York. Now, you may be thinking, well, why that? Well, the York's ground at Clarence Street only holds 3,100, and this is the first game ever to be played at Bootham Crescent in Rugby League. And Leeds now on the far side come out first. And the team today is Andrew Ettinghausen at fullback. At number 2, John Bentley. And number 3 will be Gary Schofield, coming back into the side after that long layoff. At 4, Carl Gibson. At number 5, Phil Ford. The halfbacks, Cliff Lyons and Ray Ashton. And the forwards, Lee Crooks at 8, Colin Maskell 9, Hugh Waddell 10, Mark Brook-Cowden 11, coming in for the injured Roy Powell, Paul Dixon at 12 and David Hudden at 13. The substitutes, David Stevenson and Sam Bacco.
Join the players in 1 minute silence.
There'll be now a 1 minute silence of the death of one of the former York Rugby League players who I understand died over the weekend. Referee Mr. Tennant blows his whistle to signal the end of the 1 minute silence. On the York side, at number 1, St John Ellis, number 2, Paul White, 3, Graham Sullivan, 4, Phil Payne, 5, Darren St Hilaire, at 6, Gary Atkins, at 7, Chris Hamilton, and the forwards at 8, Ian Paver, 9, Stuart Horton, 10, Ian Fletcher, 11, Jeff Price, 12, Paul Mulhyron, at 13, Steve Bleakley, and the substitutes today, number 14, John Crossley, and number 15, Steve Olsen. Well, York have never won the Challenge Cup. Their best appearance was when they got to the final in 1930-31. They lost to Halifax by 22 points to 8, and in the 1983-84 season they got to the semi-final. It was played at Ellen Road, but they were beaten by 14 points to 8. That was by Wigan. And it's going to be Gary Schofield, socks rolled down, or he was, just about to kick off. York currently 7th in the 2nd division, but all thoughts today on the Challenge Cup. And we're away. There have been 8 matches played between these two sides in the Challenge Cup. York have won 1 and Leeds 7. Gary Stevens will have got York well fired up for this match. They've won their last 4 games, so they're in a good vein of form at the moment. And the big number 12, Paul Mulhyron, slams that to Ettinghausen. And the Wasps, as they're known, and you can understand why, are well and truly buzzing for this game. Referee Mr. Tennant is being videoed today by the referee's controller, Fred Lindop, who was speaking to me earlier on. He's looking forward to what should be a very good match indeed. Lions, and going to feel that will be Paul White, but the falls and the ball bounces over the top, but it's St John Ellis who scored 8 tries this season, kicked 23 goals. Third tackle coming up, and that's Ian Paver. When you look at the York scoring record, it's the forwards that have got the vast majority of the tries. Price, the number 11, he's the leading scorer with 9. That's a good kick. And Paul White bearing down on Andrew Ettinghausen, throws it long, Phil Ford. And Ford caught in a very firm grip there. And the man to do it was the number 11, Jeff Price. Good from around the 25 area. Getting a long view from here. We're at the end where the vast majority of Leeds fans are. Lions, oh, and a good break, and it's Gibson. Gibson onto halfway, and lost the ball in the tackle. Good tackle coming in from St John Ellis. That was a Cliff Lyons astute pass inside the 25, and Leeds break away to the halfway. The two scrum halves just having a little pushing thing. But, ball in, and somebody using his hand in the scrum. Referee Mr Tennant deciding it's a penalty to Leeds for an infringement there within the scrum. So we're just a few yards inside the York half, and that one put right out onto the stand roof, and I would think out of the ground by Cliffy Lyons, but Maskell, Waddell, forward just to the 25. So first pressure on the York line, 25 yards out. And that was quite a complicated move, ends up with Crooks. And again, and Paul Dixon coming in at a fair old pace, of course. No Roy Powell today. Lyons, Ashton, throws it long. Gibson tries to step inside, but he's nailed by Phil Payne. Nice playing surface here at Bootham Crescent, and Stevens, Schofield hoists that one up. Knocked back by Lyons, and full forward it is. Well, the early score to Leeds. Just 3.5 minutes of the game gone, and Leeds have taken a 4-0 lead. Well, it came when Gary Schofield hoisted the ball high into the air. Cliff Lyons got up there, knocked the ball, it went backwards. Phil Ford was on it like a flash and had the simplest of jobs of going just behind the posts, and now John Bentley will kick from 15 yards out. So good start for Leeds. And John Bentley should kick what will be his 9th goal of the season. And he does kick it. So Leeds take a 6-0 lead. It's York 0, Leeds 6. Oh, a very crafty little kick there indeed. Nice move. And knocked forward it was by Ray Ashton. But that was a clever move. St John Ellis taking the kick through and very nearly getting to it as well. Number 7, it is Chris Hamilton. It's the ball out to Gary Atkins. Paul Mulhyron. And good play at the moment, that's Ian Paver. And numbering on the shirts, making it very difficult to pick out people, and there goes that man, Jeff Price, but he was absolutely hammered to the ground by Lyons and Ashton. They must be careful, must Leeds as well, in these situations, because on 6 tackles, York have kicked 11 drop goals this season, which is a tremendous number. And Carl Gibson was winning that ball back for Leeds whilst I was talking, so we're off again. And Lee Crooks trying to get Colin Maskell away, and Paul Dixon. Stuart Cowden. David Heron. Can't get away. And Lyons will kick long. And it's Paul White who picks it up. That's Ian Fletcher. And the number 9, Stuart Horton, drop goal specialist with 5 this season. York's leading scorers, Wigglesworth, who's not playing today, he has 9, and that was very nearly charged down by Ray Ashton. Price has 9, Ellis 8, Gary Atkins 7, and Ian Paver has 5. Their leading goal scorer has come in today. That's Sullivan. He's at number 3, and he's kicked 41 goals in total. Stiff arm in that tackle. Referee Mr. Tennant didn't like it. And it was the number 13, Steve Bleakley, who was penalised. So once again, Leeds coming forward. The wind is once again quite strong, but Leeds have it in their favour looking at the flags. Good crowd. It's 7,000 I would think easily, maybe 8. Oh, nice play by Ashton. Oh, and left out Paul Dixon. Phil Ford comes in, twisting and turning, still going strong, and it takes a good tackle by White and St John Ellis to pull him down. And Phil Ford, who looks to have injured an ankle in that, and Paul Dixon going for the line, but it's the number 11, Jeff Price, and Steve Bleakley who get him. And Phil Ford in a lot of trouble. Gary Schofield kicks that one through and held there. Well, number 12, Paul Mulhyram was held, but Cliff Lyons spoken to quite sternly by referee Tennant for asking for the... Carl Gibson, his hands a little numb there with this bitingly cold wind. And, couldn't quite keep that one in touch. So it's Chris Hamilton. Gets that one in and it comes out well. It runs straight in the arms of Ray Ashton. Bleakley, but not going very far. York's best win of the season certainly came against Lee, the current leaders of the second division. They hammered them 37-16 at Clarence Street, and in that game, which was on Scrumdown, it was one of the best games I've seen on Scrumdown this season. York certainly deserved that win and played some superb rugby. What is one of Lee's only 2 defeats this season. As I said earlier, they've won their last 4 games, and they've scored some 410 points in their 17 second division matches. Of course, it's a big difference between scoring against second division defences and the first division. Through Mr. Tennant, getting them to pack down, and Leeds win that one. That's a long ball to Ettinghausen. Ettinghausen out to Bentley. Bentley's going to have a run, but St John Ellis gets one hand on him. Finally brought to ground. It was Graham Sullivan who got back in the covering tackle, but that some of Ashton's passes are very long today. And good play. Oh, and Dixon couldn't get that ball out. Should have kept the handling movement going to Gibson, but couldn't make it. Waddell. Lyons using a long low pass and leaving out men in the line, and again Ashton, Lyons, Schofield, and John Bentley. Well, he was expected to do miracles with that pass. Gary Schofield still trying to get back into form after that very long layoff. The scrum forming 10 yards in from the far touch line and just 5 yards inside the York half, and Leeds have won that one against the head. And the referees decided that for some reason the scrum is going to form again. And down they go, and smaller ball in, and this time out on the York side. Half break, but it's Andrew Ettinghausen who's there to block that move, and the first time that Darren Senelaer's had the ball. Scorer of 4 tries this season, Senelaer. And Price coming in there, still going strong, very fast. Horton throws it out long. White goes down, tackle with Dixon. Brooke Cowden. Mark Brooke Cowden dropped his gum shield and immediately put it straight back in. And a drop goal, and it's a good one. I said that before, and it's Horton who kicks it. 15th minute, and Stuart Horton reduces the arrears to just 5 points. That's his 6th drop goal of the season, and makes the score now York 1, Leeds 6. And certainly used the drop goal to good advantage to York. Oh, nicely taken. That was Ian Fletcher. Kept going, Fletcher again it is. Price. Chris Hamilton, the scrum half. Horton again, looking for support. Throws it long. Oh, it was dangerous, and neither could pick it up. Carl Gibson once again very nearly getting on the end of that. The man to drop it was Phil Payne. Oh, good blindside break. Switches it inside. Heron. Dixon. Lee's playing at a tremendous pace at the moment. Cliffy Lyons. Back to Ettinghausen. Gibson steps inside one man, still going. Brought to ground, 10 yards inside the York 25. Lyons. His arm forward pass as Mark Brooke Cowden tried to feed off of that ball. The ball not going in at all. So York 1, Leeds 6, and 16 minutes have gone, 17 minutes have gone, and it's going to be a try. Wow, that was very close to the line. Both the referee and the touch judge decided it was a try, and it's scored by Carl Gibson, feeding off of that break by Ray Ashton. And so Leeds now in a 10 points to 1 lead, and John Bentley is going to make his mound of sand. So Carl Gibson with his 17th try of the season, and his second in the Challenge Cup this year. And John Bentley, who kicked 8 against Oldham, has had 1 already today. And a chance to go into double figures in goal kicks. Up he comes, certainly got the height, but the wind just seemed to hold it back a little bit and faded away to the right of the post. So the score with 18 minutes gone is York 1, Leeds 10. There's been Munhillen to kick off. And Andrew Ettinghausen to field the ball, which he does well. And Leeds certainly look a yard or 2 yards quicker than their second division opponents. Plenty of time left. And Hugh Waddell showing some power there. Lyons keeps it low. And there's a chase for the line. And finally St John Ellis knocks it dead. But Lee Crooks was bearing down on him. And it's going to be a drop out between the posts. And Leeds well in command at the moment. Of course, having destroyed Hunslet after a brief spell where Hunslet played relatively well. Scoring 32 points finally at Leeds, so 10 already on the board, and making the breaks forwards, powering in, and one of the best buys I think Leeds have made, Paul Dixon. And Cliffy Lyons dropping that pass from Lee Crooks. It was thrown out at pace, and Lyons was coming also at the same sort of speed. Couldn't hold on to the ball. So York trying to break out of their own half. Just been in the Leeds 25 a couple of occasions, but not made anything of it so far. Apart from that drop goal by Horton. And unable to find the craft to break down this Leeds defence. And drop ball. Here and there was about to break away, but referee Tennant has seen more than one knock on in that situation, so it's a scrum right on halfway, and it's won by York. The two scrum halves, Ashton and Hamilton, in a tussle for the ball. It's Hamilton who won it initially, but not managing to hold on to it. Ian Fletcher going down. No way through. It's one-man rugby at the moment from York. And Hamilton won't relish passes like that. Into a tremendous tackle coming in, and that was a bit high. And there's another little skirmish on the floor, and Mr. Tennant deciding to get a hold of St. John Ellis by the collar. It was Lyons' tackle, it was very high. And he's got a thorough warning. Well, the people still coming into the ground, and we understand that the ground is now being classed as full. They're not letting any more in, so they must be getting on for 10,000 here. And the ball there, just like a bar of soap, finally comes to Leeds. Gary Schofield, John Bentley. Let's go around the outside, and proving quite a handful for that left flank of York. Schofield not yet had chance to have much of a run. The ball being played down the left flank of Leeds mainly. There are some spaces down below us here, but they must have decided for safety reasons to let it go, and that's a good break. It's Colin Maskell. Heron, Ettinghausen, Gibson. Gibson's going through a big gap, throws it wildly inside. Ettinghausen getting his hand to it, but it was forward. But mistake there by Price and the number 7, Chris Hamilton, as they allowed a big gap to develop and then allowed Gibson to race through it. And they hand over, and Price is down. There's still people coming into the ground. They've asked people to move up. And a good break. Steve Bleakley. But, well, when you've got people of the pace of Ford about, he got back to cover it. But Paul White it is, going forward. And last, York beginning to get into some form of rhythm. Obstruction between the Mr. number 8 and Mulherron. Ian Paver it was, guilty, and so Leeds have the chance to push York back. And it's John Bentley who puts that one out of the ground. So they managed to get up with Paul Dixon there. And, still standing up despite the attentions of Hamilton and Payne. And finally the ball into touch. York winning that one. Hamilton stumbling. Oh, well, got out there by Ian Fletcher. Payne. Still York looking for a way through, keeping that ball alive well. Oh, and a good move here. And twice there, Gary Atkins should have released the ball to Jeff Price. He held on too long. And his penalty, Phil Ford wouldn't let Gary Atkins up. And so St John-Ellis with 23 goals this season is going to kick for goal. We've had 27 minutes and he's just about 5 yards to the right of the post and some 15, 16 yards out. Left-footed kicker, straight between, and so on 27 minutes, it's now York 3, Leeds 10. And Leeds early sparkle, just evading them a little bit, but seem to have plenty in reserve, and will perhaps step up a gear in the second half. Good break by Price. Oh, and he's finally lost the ball, and offside there. Penalty to Leeds. John Bentley. And offside again, 10 yards. Price, the man cautioned for it. And Waddell still going, is dragging Price with him. Must have dragged Price 3 yards there, with Horton hanging on as well. But Cowden. So 15 yards out. Crooks still getting the ball going. Oh, not a very good ball by Ashton, but Bentley. But Cowden. Leeds going backwards, but Brooke Cowden spins out of that tackle, or attempted tackle. Ian Fletcher, the man that didn't get to grips with him. And ball will be coming back, I would anticipate, here to Cliff Lyons. No, it did. Oh, and a good ball by Lyons. Ettinghausen. No, bounced it down according to the referee. Well, Cliff Lyons with another superbly timed pass. Andrew Ettinghausen didn't look to have anywhere to go, but in that tackle coming in near the line, he was adjudged to have bounced the ball down. Oh, good break by Hamilton. Still going to falls to Ettinghausen's tackle. Nobody in support. St John-Ellis. Payne, but St John-Ellis gave Payne the ball with absolutely no hope of going anywhere. Price. And Crooks gets him round the shoulders. Still the score is York 3, Leeds 10. And we're inside the last 10 minutes of this first half. And kick through by Horton, but Phil Ford can let that go quite easily. play now, just 10 yards inside the Leeds half. Heron can't make the break. Another good ball by Lyons, and Ettinghausen doesn't give Bentley a particularly good pass there. A bit dangerous ball. Chipped into space by Lyons and picked up by his half-back partner Ashton, and gets Bentley away, but tackles coming in. Darren Saint-Hilaire is one of them, and the penalty. I don't know what it was for, because it's a long way from my view. It's been given anyway. And it's Horton's one of them that's being spoken to. And the other man, Graham Sullivan. Yet another ball out of the ground. There's still 7 points the difference. And the referee Tennant right on the spot there to watch what was going on in that tackle. Crooks. And Paul Dixon had nearly been taken off. Schofield. Oh, Gary will probably feel better for that one, having his first real sidestep. Kick through by Lyons, but St. John Ellis will pick that one up. It's going to be nailed right just well. You can see the ball there. It's just before the line. Oof. Tremendous tackle coming in on Paul White by Lee Crooks. And York now in desperate trouble, and they'll be looking for the kick fairly shortly. That's 4 tackles already. Gary Stevens, I think they've done pretty well at this stage to be only 7 points behind. Mulheron, high into the air. Who's going to take that? Is it yours? Is it mine? Phil Ford drops it, but it goes backwards. Ettinghausen, Bentley. And Horton again, diving in. And Lee Crooks has thrown it wildly away, but Leeds got it back. Gibson. Ford. And obstruction by Paul Dixon. As Ford came round the back of him. Oh, plenty for the crowd to get excited about.
Play well, Tennant, keep it snappy.
Phil Payne puts that one right to the 25. That's a very good kick indeed, with 35 yards gained. Price, like Sonny Nicol of Hunslet, who's highly rated, has found the Leeds tackling to be not to his liking. So Leeds winning back possession. And halfway between the 25 and the halfway line in Leeds territory. Ettinghausen steps away from one man, but can't break away. Lyons again. Well, straight back off the ankles. Gibson, oh well, nice little tap up. That ball that Lions kicked through came off the back of the ankles of Steve Bleakley. Oh, good play. Brooke Cowden supporting well. Ashton, but that was a suicide pass to Gary Schofield, and Schofield's did a good tackle there. Price has broken through. Price going. Ettinghausen with him. But Ettinghausen with a good tackle. But good break there by Price. And at last he's shown the form that has done him so well this season. And Phil Ford easily gets Paul White. And just a little altercation. Touch judge in. Speaks to Mr. Tennant, and Mr. Tennant's going to have sharp words with Phil Ford. Now, don't be so stupid, get on with the game, and Lee Crooks just listening to what Mr. Tennant has to say. Hamilton, Sullivan it is, but Sullivan is put into touch by Bentley. A wasted opportunity for York. And the scrum will form 10 yards in, midway between the Leeds line and the 25. And how York need this ball here. Sullivan has joined his centre partner Payne, but Leeds have got it. Ettinghausen, Lyons, Schofield, Gibson. Now then, can Gibson go? Gibson's still going, but a good tackle by St. John Ellis. But from our angle here, the gap looked bigger probably than it was. But that was good handling on their own line. Ettinghausen and Lyons. Getting some sloppy passing. As the hooter goes for half-time with the score, York 3, Leeds 10. The scoring, a Phil Ford try on 4 minutes and a John Bentley conversion from right under the posts, putting Leeds 4-0 in front. Stuart Horton dropped goal some 9 minutes later, giving York a score of 1 and Leeds 6. But Carl Gibson's try on 17 minutes, putting Leeds 10 points to 1 in front. And then on 27 minutes, a St. John Ellis penalty gives us a half-time scoreline of York 3, Leeds 10. The second half. Second half about to get underway, and here we go. Cliff Lyons has had such a super game this first half, with some intelligent passing and very well timed passes as well. A good break by Lee Crooks. It could be the last 20 minutes. Leeds piling the pressure. I was talking to Fred Lindop at half-time, and he reckoned that quite a lot of the York players were blowing and that they've not supported the couple of breaks that they've had. And he felt that Leeds would probably score 30 points plus in the second half. So York penned down in their own 25. And Hamilton it is, who breaks out of it. Her and the tackler. Liam Fletcher, he's made a good 5 yards, and that's a nice kick. If that bounces in, it's going to go. Very good kick indeed. Horton it was.
Half-time substitution for York, number 14, John Crossley, has replaced number 6, Gary Atkins.
Well, John Crossley's on for Gary Atkins. Ettinghausen, no, that's a nice break. Still going. And Lyons timed his pass perfectly to Ettinghausen. David Hearn, Brooke Cowden, Lyons, Gibson, Ford takes it one-handed and throws it away. Well, like I think I say nearly every week with Phil Ford, very mercurial. Sometimes he's got it, and sometimes, well, he makes the most basic of mistakes. What a crowd pleaser in general terms. The Leeds have won that ball back. Both touch judges are looked at by Mr. Tennant. They can't see anything wrong, and so Leeds in possession. Lions, who've been left out against Salford, and then coming on and playing such a magnificent part, but the leading out, I think, by Mal really has done him a lot of good. Dived on by Fletcher. David Hearn dropping that ball. Well, Hearn. Bitterly cold, the wind blowing from left to right. Leeds will have it in their favour. This is quite numbing, the wind. Oh, well taken. And a break on by Graham Sullivan. Still going. Is it out here? Down centre where? Back inside, Sullivan. And that was a good piece of play, and that certainly roused the York contingent. And the first time we've seen an absolutely flying movement from York. They're now well entrenched in the Leeds 25. Horton, that one coming back, and they'll get 6 more tackles. Came back off of the Leeds player. Steve Bleakley. Hamilton. Gives it to Paver. Paver gets to within 2 yards. Bleakley along the line. St. John Ellis. Ellis said St. John Stevens then. Freudian slip of the tongue. Horton. 4 yards out. Hamilton. Price, oh, and held on to by Crooks. Oh, and Hamilton just kicking the ball forward, the ball going forward, but good attack, and that was a tremendous tackle by Lee Crooks on Jeff Price. Leeds winning the ball. Oh, and this is a good chance. Gibson, Ettinghausen. Look at the pace of Ettinghausen. Still going, and Ettinghausen's away. Now then, can he go all the way? Puts it inside, and Ford drops the ball. Well, that was a chance. Ettinghausen breaking away over 50 yards. Slits the ball inside, and Phil Ford just couldn't take the pass. Also knocked on, so he got a scrum on the 25, and York win that one. Crossley, and pulled over by his opposite number with Lions. Experienced man Crossley, back at the ground where he started his career. And Hamilton has had a good game as well for York, the scrum half. But number 10 there, Ian Fletcher, lost that ball. And Paul Dixon just bounced a little bit there, my Sullivan. Mark Brooke Cowden certainly done a good job for Leeds in this one of his first full games for a while. And Waddell soon get rid of the ball in the tackle. Long pass by Lyons. He's there again, his Lyons gives it inside to Ford. Ford using his pace, still going. Oh, what a lovely little run by Phil Ford. Didn't gain much ground going forward, but certainly stepping under tackles. And a drop goal attempt by Cliff Lyons. And it goes well wide. So it's York to restart, the 25. And, Ian Paver trying to break through. York 3, Leeds 10, still the score. We've had 7 minutes of the second half. And this big crowd here, I'm sure you saw some, or you will see some crowd shots of where they're even sitting up on top of a church roof. There must be in the region of 10,000. And they've closed the gates. Bootham Crescent hasn't seen a crowd of this size for quite some time. Another good kick by Horton, and John Bentley manages to get to it. There he goes. Veering to the left, there's a big gap opens up, and he's gone through that one, and that's a good run by Bentley. And Hamilton being penalised for not letting him get up. Speaking to Fred Lindop at half-time again, he was saying that he thought referee Ray Tennant was having a good game, and perhaps he's carrying a little injury because he didn't feel he was as mobile as he should be. You were dealt. It's good to see that the referees are being videoed as well, and Fred Lindop trying to get better refereeing standards all the time. York tackling is ferocious at the moment. They're really getting stuck in. Waddell found the little gap, nobody marking him. Lyons is there. Draw, lovely ball to Schofield. Schofield to Bentley. And Bentley, well, he's just held back. 6 tackle it was. Harry Schofield gave Bentley the chance, but there was some good cover in that corner by Darren St Hilaire. And Leeds have won it back. Waddell. No, he's on his back. Held down onto his back. So, 5-yard scrum. Hamilton to put the ball in. Comes out York side. Still 7 points the difference. Yeah, 30 minutes remaining. Good tackle. Gary Schofield. And York running it, Crossley. Good break. Horton gets it out to St Hilaire. Still going, hands off Bentley. Bentley recovers and gets back to make a good tackle. Crossley. Hamilton straightens up. Price was with him, but inside the 25, and it's good play by York. Horton. And Ettinghausen. Oh, and Ettinghausen just got a hand on it as he spun backwards. Wow. The referee has given a try. I thought the referee initially had said that it was a dropout between the posts, but Horton it is that's got the try. His little kick through to the line. And the Leeds fans in front of us here are demonstrating with Fred Lindop, who's stood to my right, saying, well, what do you think of that refereeing decision? Well, you'll be able to see it again tonight. The ball was kicked through. It looked like Andrew Ettinghausen had just put his hand onto it, but referee Tennant decided not, and Horton's got the try, and St John Ellis now to kick. We haven't got a replay facility here today, so I can't look at it again, but I thought that Andrew Ettinghausen had just put his hand onto the ball. St John Ellis puts the score now as York 9, Leeds 10. Fred Lindop, I think, wishes he wasn't up on this roof with us. As control of the referees, of course. The Leeds fans are saying, well, what the hell have you got this man here for? That try coming with 28 minutes left. And the game's spilling over a little. And the referee Tennant, he's going to have a word with somebody there. Given a scrum. And Leeds winning that one. Ashton, Lyons, Schofield, Lyons again, Ettinghausen in the line, and Ettinghausen's going in the corner. The right reply, Andrew Ettinghausen's 10th try of the season. And that was a great move. Schofield was involved, Ashton was involved twice, and there came Ettinghausen into the line. A gap opened up and he was through it like an arrow, straight into the corner, and Leeds, the reply immediate. '54th minute. And Leeds look like now going to go further. John Bentley from wide out on that far touchline. He's got the wind with him. Left-footed, high, and just wide. So with 25 minutes remaining, the score is York 9, Leeds 14. Mulharen to kick off. Well, there's no better time to score than when the opposition have just done so. York are certainly fired up now with that try, although they've just conceded one. There's only 5 points in it, and so they scored again, now they'll be in front. Ashton, Brooke Cowden, Horton's try was his 5th of the season. Sorry, his 4th of the season. And Andrew Ettinghausen now has 10. That's a good long kick by Lyons.
Get back behind him.
break by Hamilton, and it's Lee Crooks who makes another good tackle. Crossley. It tackled well. Horton again it is, lobs that one over the top, but taken by Ashton. Ashton breaks into a gap. Lyons. Ford can't hold on to that one. Into touch, he's gone. And the lights are on here. Because Hamilton to put the ball in, and it comes out their side again. St. John Ellis, twisting and turning. And Leeds have won that ball back. And there's a bit of trouble there. St. John Ellis didn't like the way that Lyons tackled him. There didn't appear to be anything wrong to me, apart from that Lyons brought him to the ground with a tremendous thump. Penalty. A foolish play there by St. John Ellis, because he's given Leeds a penalty, and it wouldn't surprise me if John Bentley tries to put Leeds 7 points in front. They got the wind with him, and it's absolutely howling. Seems to have picked up in the last 5 minutes. And not only is it a strong wind, it is bitterly cold. "59 minutes of the game gone. Just over 20 minutes remaining. John Bentley. The kick. And he's hooked it well wide and to the right. So it's still York 9, Leeds 14. And anyone who thought Leeds were going to run in a number of points may have been mistaken, with his 20 minutes to go, and Leeds certainly proving like Tierhausen just couldn't keep himself in play. Tremendous pace. Colin Masco having a lot of trouble in the scrums, and York winning quite a few at this stage. Non Crossley. And the Liners having at times to defend, and defend well. Price. It's a good run. And that's Fletcher. Horton. Hamilton. Mulheron can't get his pass out. Horton again. And little vision. And the sixth tackle. It was Paul White who couldn't hold on to that one. And Lee Crooks. Oh, gets a good ball out to Colin Maskell. Heron. Nixon pushes off one man, and another still going. Ashton, Lyons, oh, and he completely missed Andrew Ettinghausen. Phil Ford's dropped it. The ball going backwards. Gibson bumps into Gary Schofield, still going, Carl Gibson. And it's another 5 tackles to go. Oh, Maskell. A good break over 10 yards. Leeds beginning to exert themselves now. Woodell, Schofield, the pass as he was going down. Ashton, Ettinghausen around the outside, gets through Price and goes in at the corner. Good try by Andrew Ettinghausen. And it was all kept going by Gary Schofield. Just as he was about to go down, flung out the pass, Ashton got it along the line. And finally, Ettinghausen coming in once again at the back and diving over. His second try of the afternoon, his 11th of the season. And Leeds now take an 18 points to 9 lead. John Bentley has so far kicked 1 from 5. 3 conversions he's missed, plus the penalty. Trying again. It's a terrible wind though. It's really causing the ball to fly all over. He hoists it high. And again, he's done exactly the same. He's had the direction, but the wind carrying it away. Not had enough power. So 9 points the difference. And 15 minutes remaining. David Stevenson warming up below us as York kick off. David Hearn, and this is where York really must tackle hard, because Leeds are moving at pace, and the last 20 minutes is the difficult time for second division clubs. Woodell had some charging runs this afternoon. Crooks. And these forwards of Leeds now beginning to take the steam out of York. Schofield, oh, and that one bounces straight back off of Horton. And Leeds have got 6 more. No, they've not got 6 more. And Bentley will kick it long. Referee saying that it didn't come off a hand, it came off a chest. St Janellis. And I can't see which number it is that's going to be held up, but Schofield might be one man that could possibly is given a rest to allow David Stevenson to come on, but we'll see in a moment. Maybe Mal really hasn't decided yet. Kicked by Horton. Bentley picks it up. And this is a cross field. Still going, straightens. Ford. Ford was on the inside. It was Gibson who took that pass and over halfway. But they've lost the ball. York still not out of this at 9 points to 18 down. Heron. Still coming forward. Oh, and drop ball, picks it up at the second attempt, but it had already gone forward.
The official attendance this afternoon is 11,847. Substitute for Leeds, number 14 David Stevenson replaces number 3 Gary Schofield.
Ettinghausen looking for his hat-trick. As David Stevenson's come on for Gary Schofield. And the left wing combination of Phil Ford and Carl Gibson can't hold on to anything at the moment. It's a hard-earned victory for Leeds if they can maintain this scoreline. Once again, York win the scrum. White's lost the ball. Tackle coming in from Paul Dixon there, and Phil Ford. The Leeds at last win a scrum. Ashton to the 25. And 10 minutes remaining. Crooks. Oh, gets it out. Stevenson is in the line, but it's a good break by Heron. Stevenson brought to the ground, but good move by Leeds. Waddell, who's yet to score a try, if my records are correct, for Leeds. Ashton jinking and jiving and twisting and turning and still keeps it going. Stevenson, Ettinghausen looking for it, gives it to Bentley. Bentley's into the corner. John Bentley's 7th try of the season, and that really now should seal it at 22 points to 9. And with David Stevenson on, I would think that he's going to have a kick at goal. Well, no, he's not. They've left it to John Bentley. Not been very successful this afternoon, but maybe he can convert his own try.
The outstanding performance of this match, worth £100, and a Silford Challenge Cup 1989 tie has been won by Leeds number 1,
Andrew Ettinghausen wins the Silk Cup Man of the Match award.
The award was chosen by the cresent at the game today.
John Bentley, left-footed. And that one is going to go again to the right of the post. Not had much success today, but at 22 points to 9, they're looking home and dry.
The substitution for York, number 15, Steve Olsen, requested number 12, Paul Mulhern.
Steve Olsen on for Paul Mulhern. You've probably heard that if this mic picked it up. Dixon. Ooh. Colin Maskell was very nearly onto that ball. So finally it's Gibson. Crooks. Oh, a dreadful mistake. An absolutely dreadful mistake there by Darren St-Hilaire. He's going to catch it, decided to let it bounce. The ball pitched in front of him and shot along the ground. And now we've got a scrum which is over about 7 or 8 yards from the York line. Lee Crooks gave that an almighty belt, but Darren St-Hilaire should have had it. 5 tries to Leeds, 1 to York. And they're burrowing for that one, and it's York that come up with it. 6 minutes remaining. And really Leeds can sew this game up. Just defend when they have to, make the necessary tackles, and pen York back in their own half. Most of the people on the roof have now gone. And York have put up a very spirited performance. So it's Phil Payne doing a good relieving job, and nobody there to mark him, so he makes another 10 yards, throws it wildly back. Crossley manages to get to it, but on the 6th tackle it's a handover. And Leeds will be looking for some more points. Lost the ball. Hugh Waddell it was who got a smack in the face and dropped the ball. And Dixon pinches it back. Still going, and had a good game as Lee Crooks. It's actually it was my choice as man of the match, but Andrew Ettinghausen has got it. The game going to be very scrappy indeed, as I think York know that they're beaten, and Leeds, well, they feel that they've got this wrapped up. Hands must be very cold because the wind, as I've said all afternoon, is tremendously cold. Oh, good break. It's St-Hilaire got it, but Ford, well, with the bit between his teeth, he's wondering where to go, still going. And finally it's Price that brings him down. Brooke Cowden, No support there when he's swamped by 3. Olsen, one of them. Just come on. Horton's down. And away we go. And it's Paul Dixon. And that ball lost by Dixon. Players littering the field down injured at the moment. And the scrum being formed. And a penalty to Leeds. And a kick for touch.
BBC Northern Radio, local radio, at 7:50 AM on this coming Tuesday morning.
So 15 yards out, Woodell still going, lots of ground. But Cowden, he's brought down as well. Well, that fooled me. And Crooks it is, I think. That's over. Coming storming in off a pass, he was caught high up on the waist, hit into the air, but he managed to wait, taking him over. And Lee Crooks now really seals the game. And even the announcer for York seems very dejected indeed. The try coming with just a minute remaining of normal time. And this time, can John Bentley kick this one? And only just the wind again was bringing it inside that right-hand post. Woodell can get this one away, but it bounces one player off, storms through, throws the ball inside, and he's picked up by Olsen. There goes the hooter. And York, despite a very plucky performance, of which they at one stage got to within a point in the 52nd minute, Leeds have run out with 6 tries from John Bentley, Carl Gibson, Andrew Ettinghausen 2, Phil Ford and Lee Crooks, and Horton getting the only try for York, St John Ellis a penalty, Stuart Horton a drop goal, and St John Ellis conversion for those 9 points, and John Bentley just managed those 2 conversions to give the final score here in the Silk Cut Challenge Cup first round. York 9, Leeds 28.